let's see what's happening. I am player 2. Take a look at the Imperium row. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Chom directorship, power play sitting there in the Imperium row. Pretty monstrous cards. I can understand why Teravangian picked Helena there to start with. Huh. You know what? I'm going to play Paul Atreides because I haven't really played Paul in a little while. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Also, just in terms of like trying to get my hands on some of these big cards, Helena would be the top choice. But I feel like Paul might be number 2 just because the Signet Ring draws a card. You're able to see what your upcoming card is. It might let me sort of figure out when is a good time to try to draw a card to get one of these things. But anyway, the bigger reason is just I haven't played Paul in a while. Okay. Now I have no hope of doing a Chom directorship turn 1 because I can't draw a card right now. Sadly. I have no way of going to Arakeen, for example. All right, so it's a bit of a weird round. I'm going to go to wealth and then we'll see what happens. Just get that going. Okay, so with secure contract gone, I don't have a lot of great options remaining. In terms of my Dune the Desert Planet, only Arakeen left. But that might be all right. In terms of the conflict, it wouldn't be a bad thing for me to get some spice, actually. Because then next round I can start with a Cell Melange. If I end up with like 3 spice, it's actually kind of interesting. The trouble with that... yeah, 4 troops. If I throw in... I can only throw in 2 if I go there. But... crap. Okay, that hurts a little bit. Because, yeah, that was... I was really happy with that move. I was like thinking about it. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. Get myself some spice, set myself up for a Cell Melange next round. But it's not going to happen. So my only play is Hall of Oratory. I mean, I could go to Mentat, but that would be insane. So we'll just do this. It does at least set me up for potentially getting the power play. Yeah, it's unfortunate that I wasn't able to get involved in that at all. Beast is setting himself up for a Cell Melange next round because I'm not going to be able to do it. So he'll be able to do it right away and maybe get his Swordmaster next round, which is pretty nice for him. Okay, well, this is an interesting decision now because I have 6 Persuasion. I could go power play anyway, but the Reverend Mother Mahayam is just kind of cool. So I'm going to do that. We'll let the power play sit. You know, I mean, that's a pretty nice early card to get. You know, very versatile. I can send it to these faction spaces, which is really valuable to get that in the deck already. But obviously the reveal is really nice. Maybe better at this point. Just start racking up some spice. I may consider a High Council seat this coming round. I may do a secure contract and then High Council seat. I usually prefer getting Swordmaster first, saving my Solari until I have the Swordmaster, and then going for it. But given this thing, it could be really nice to get that. Okay, now obviously my Signet Ring is going to draw a card that I can't predict because I have no deck, so I can't look at the top card of the deck. Is that what I want to do? Kind of hurts not to use the Seek Allies. But I'm going to try to do it because, yeah, any advantage I can get there. Now, Helena may just pull it off the board. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Hey, Antlion Maxi. Good to see you. Shuffling is good here. Well, I mean, it's potentially good because it might let me draw the Reverend Mother. Is that why you think it's good? Okay, so Beast did not end up selling Melange. I thought he might. We'll see if Leto decides to. More spice available in a conflict. Jessica also here. So, yeah, I am definitely pretty tempted to just grab this High Council seat right now. Fabinu, I'm going to use the Signet Ring now. The reason I did it this way is to just leave myself more options in case I changed my mind. Because the Signet Ring can go to more places. It takes away, you know, seeing what my card was and all that, but yeah. Let's just go through with it and just let's see how it goes. Okay, it's a convincing argument. That's kind of cool. So, you know, maybe I can get the power play right here. We'll see. Yeah, so this is going to be one of the rare games where I get the High Council seat and I'm going to get the Swordmaster late. We'll see how it goes. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. The power play obviously has been taken away by Helena's Signet Ring, so that's not going to be available. But, you know, if I can get my mother, if I can get my mother on my side early on this game, that would be great. Or obviously getting a Chom Directorship would be fantastic. The Jessica would also pair well with Reverend Mother Mahayam, obviously. All right. Well, let's see. What do I want to do with this 5 persuasion? Fidakan Death Commando for some trash could be okay. On the other hand, I mean, the Imperial Spy is a classic, but I'm kind of tempted to just go double Liaison to try to maximize my chances of making one of these things happen. So, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just gonna I'm kind of gonna go all in right now on this persuasion strategy. I'm gonna try to be very persuasive, and we'll see how that goes. The Death Commando, I mean, it's good because if I do happen to get, Jessica, or, I do already have the Reverend Mother, trashing cards is good, but I'm going for the persuasion strategy here. The thing sometimes too I find with those cards that trash, like the Death Commando, sorry, I didn't take it, but the Death Commando or the Guild Administrator is the one that also trashes. They can be great and I like them, but it happens relatively often that I can't actually use them to trash, either because I need to play a different card, or when the time I get it, I don't really have a discard pile. So they're not super reliable. So I don't feel bad about that decision. Power play was picked up by Taravangian on Helena there. Leto grabs a Shifting Allegiances, which is a pretty nice card for Leto. Really goes with his theme. There's the Administrator I was talking about. Beast sitting on 9 spice right now. All right, secure Imperial Basin. Okay, so I have some cards. I have some persuasion. How am I going to use it? Well, the diplomacy has to get sent somewhere. That is for sure. I don't necessarily think this spice is going to be sitting there by the time I want to go there. Okay, so yeah, Beast did sell Melange. He sold 5 and he still has 4 spice left. Look at the resources on this guy. I need Solaria. Like, I think I do want to try to get my Swordmaster still. I don't think I want to just abandon it. So it could even be grabbing this 3 spice with my Dune, just so I'm ready to sell Melange if I get the chance next time. I might not, given that Helena's sitting on 3 spice and she doesn't have her Swordmaster yet, so she's likely to sell Melange next round when she's the first player. Okay, there goes the directorship. Well, okay, so I've got to get Jessica this round. That is my priority. So I have to make sure that I have the persuasion to do it, which means I either have to draw a card or I have to only play the diplomacy and a dagger. Or something else and a dagger, I guess. I could play a Dune and a dagger, but I don't want to skip the diplomacy. I think I'm going to do still suits. I'm going to do still suits because I want to leave myself the option of getting this great flat perhaps next turn. Now, do I deploy troops? I think this is a decent time for me to deploy troops. Everyone else is kind of weak. I'm going to throw in 2 and just see what I can get. Hey, Le Realm, thank you for the bits cheering. I love that sound. I love the animation. And I appreciate you saying that I'm your favorite streamer. That means a lot. Okay, so let me end my turn there. I'm not sure if sending in 2 troops was correct, because I'm not likely to even have my dagger left to support that. Maybe 1 was better, but I kind of think 1 would have been better. Because if Helena decides to go in, it's going to be with 3 troops, and she could easily do that. My favorite Dune streamer. I love the correction. I don't think there are that many Dune streamers, but I'll take it. I'll take it anyway. Okay. Well, let's see. Antline Max, if you considered getting your channel points changed to Solari, yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. I haven't really looked at changing the channel points yet. All right, so Helena threw in 2. Yeah, so I think 1 would have been the better call there, because I have to just send my dagger to Hall of Oratory so that I can make sure that I can get Jessica. So it's probably going to be 2 troops for 1 water, which is not the best. 1 troop for 1 water would have been better. I could have early revealed. You're right. I could have early revealed to grab it and make sure I get it. I'm kind of just being confident that no one else is going to be able to. But it is a risk. It is a risk. Sword was good on reveal as well. Yeah, it might have been. Turns out it wouldn't have mattered, but it could have mattered. I kind of went with the gamble that the 1 extra troop later would be more valuable. Anyway, it has worked out. So this is great news. I think I'll just take that Freeman influence and get that done. All right, so I've got my mom on my team. If I can only get my dad on my team somehow, I'd be in really good shape. So although Helena did reserve the Chom directorship, she didn't have the persuasion to actually get it. So it's going to just disappear. So that's all right. I mean, it would have been great if I could have gotten it, but it's not going to happen. I'm happy to get the Jessica. So yeah, we're going to have to just wait and see how all this pans out. Yeah, the grandpa, well, he's not around, but I would take his help. I'd take anybody's help at this point. The channel points, maybe, yeah, the real, maybe they should be Spice Milan since we're all hooked on it. You just got to get more and more of it. That kind of makes sense. Well, I got a water. There's a lot of spice sitting there. We got a terrible purpose. This is a weird hand. Okay, so my top card is diplomacy. So that's good to know. If if I'm able to draw a card, that'll get me a diplomacy. So that's good. I'm just going to have to see what kind of spice is available. Yeah, okay. So Haga Basin gets cleaned up. Leto gets the Sword Master. I'm kind of tempted to grab the Great Flat. It means I won't get to draw and play the diplomacy right now. But if I grab that now, I'll be kind of set up for spiced for potential Sel Melange next round. And potentially Swordmaster next round. All right, I'm just going to do it. And do I throw in the troops? Let's throw in the troops. Let's throw them in. I may end up throwing in even more. So I'm going to have to decide what I want to do. It's going to depend on the conflict, I think. I may end up using reconnaissance to put in more troops. Or I may end up using the Reverend Mother to visit a faction space, because my faction visits have been a little bit... I haven't been doing too many of them. But I also do like getting more spice, so I don't know. If Arakeen is available, it would mean that I would still have 5 persuasion at the end of the round. So theoretically, I might be able to get the power play. But Arakeen is gone, so that's not an option. Oh no, my little troop got annihilated. Okay. Is Leto going to throw in troops here? He is. Okay, Dum-de-Doodar, afternoon to you. How bad do I want to try to get power play? Or how bad do I want to try to win this conflict? Leto still has another agent. Helena does not. I don't think I can really... I don't think I want to waste my turn trying to get power play right now. Because I may not even get it. So I'm going to go here, get myself an intrigue card, get myself a bit of a... Oh, okay. Well, maybe I can. Maybe I can. Get myself the influence with the Bene Gesserit. I'll have 2 daggers to back myself up here. We'll see how much it matters. It would be really nice to win this conflict. I'm not super confident. I feel like Leto's going to throw in another troop at least. He does have an intrigue card as well. Beast is going in for 1. He has 2 intrigue cards. He could theoretically be in on this. Helena did not use the power play that round. Only 4 persuasion. Okay, so it looks like I probably will be able to get the power play because Leto still has an agent. So unless he does an early reveal, I can use my charisma to convince these guys to come over to me. All right. Okay, so that worked out quite well. Carryall replaces power play in the Imperium row. Beast goes to research station, is going to draw a bunch of cards. I wonder what his goal is there. He does have the High Council seat. Maybe he buys a Spice Must Flow here. Maybe he wants to draw swords into his hand to potentially win the conflict. That could be a thing. Okay, Leto with no swords. That's good news for me. So it's just going to be about what cards Beast has in hand to reveal, as well as what intrigue cards he has. I have a sneaking suspicion that he's going to have enough to overtake me here. Another power play pops up. That's the 3rd one, right? 1 sword only and 8 persuasion. Interesting. Peter DeVries now shows up. We've got an exciting Imperium row this game, I feel. Firm grip. What do you got, Beast? I feel like he's got to have something. I don't know. I just feel it. He's thinking about it. No? Wow. Okay. That is a nice victory there. Just eking out the victory for a victory point and a trash, which is great. I think we can lose a dagger at this point. So that's nice. Much appreciated. And we're at Desert Power. Okay, taking a look at my hand here, Diplomacy, Seek Allies, Signet Ring, Arrakis Liaison, Convincing Argument. So, I could do Sel Melange, Swordmaster. So I think that's what I want to do. And it's going to draw me another liaison, which is not the worst thing. Question is, how much do I want to sell? Because I wouldn't mind, doing some selective breeding this game. So maybe I just go for the bare minimum and, not worry too much about Mentat. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let me take this opportunity to say thank you to my Twitch subs. We've got Jadao, Lucifer Winchester, Traboba, and A Priori 00. Thank you much. Thank you much. Thank you very much for being Twitch subs. I really appreciate your support. Let me also say thank you to my YouTube members, Saltman, Dum-de-Doodar, Vinicius Rezende, Janet Williams, Makar Chudra, Sebulba Goes Forth, and Simon Mroz. Apologies for any mispronunciations. Thank you very much for your support. It means a lot, and I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying everything on the stream and on the channel. All right, well, Test of Humanity has just happened, and I have to discard a card. That's a bit rough. I think I'm going to discard the Seek Allies. Does that make any sense? I don't think that makes sense. I'm going to discard the Diplomacy. Hey there, Jadao. Nice to see you in the chat here. So my plan here is to send a liaison to Swordmaster and then a Seek Allies somewhere. That's basically the idea. And then if I'm really lucky, I can get Peter de Vries still. If not, maybe a Firm Grip, in which case, you know, maybe I'll be sad I didn't burn a bit more spice for Solari, but... All right, so Leto grabs the Freeman Alliance there. I don't know if he needed to do it that way, but that's fair enough. Okay, so let's send a liaison to get me a Swordmaster. I'm not the last one to get it. Helena still doesn't have hers. As for where Seek Allies is going at this point, I think it's going to go Bene Gesserit, because I think I might have a chance at fighting for that, because I do plan to go to selective breeding when I get a chance. Now, this conflict is really... Leto's going to get this cheap, I think. But that's how it is. So, good for him. Yeah, let me do this. An intrigue card could be handy as well. Water Peddlers Union. Well, you know, that's not a bad one to have. The nice thing about Water Peddlers Union is... it can catch people off guard. People, you know, if you're keeping track of what water people have, you're kind of planning like, oh, he can't go to, you know, the Great Flat. Let me save it for a round or whatever. Or, you know, let me do research station later in the round because no one else can do it. So you can kind of surprise people by hanging on to cards like that. And not just burning them when you don't need to. On the other hand, the nice thing about it is if at any point I need to cut down on intrigue cards, like if I have 4, or I'm about to have 4, I can just use it. So it's a really nice card. I like these ones that just give you resources. They're not always the most powerful, but they can be. And, you know, you're going to get something out of it. All right, so that was interesting. I guess I was saying earlier, I'm not sure Leto needed to make that play where he reduced his influence somewhere else to get 2 with the Freeman. He could have just gone down 1 with the Freeman and then back up 2, and he still would have gotten the alliance. But I think it was actually wise. He's keeping in mind that there are a lot of power plays out there this game. And so, yeah, he was paying more attention to that than I was, and it turned out to be a smart move. Leto has only 1 card in hand to reveal. Whoa! Big early reveal, 9 persuasion from Helena. I mean, she can get a firm grip and one of these 5-cost cards, so that's kind of crazy. We'll see what she does, or she can just get a Spice Must Flow. No, she's going for firm grip and what? Peter? Yeah. Okay, well, that makes me kind of sad. But a couple of Bene Gesserit cards available, which might be nice for me. But I was really kind of looking forward to that Peter de Vries. I'm not sure how much, like, the Bene Gesserit combo stuff is kind of cool, but really I only have 1 card that actually, you know, does anything with it. But I could go Bene Gesserit Sister and Liaison. It keeps my persuasion high, opens up Spice Must Flow, or I go Carry All and use that to try to fund a Hayliner play later, but it doesn't sound that great to me. The Reverend Mother, I don't think is quite the right choice. So we're gonna go Bene Gesserit Sister. Oh, okay, that worked out. That worked out well. Quite happy with another Bene Gesserit Sister there. That was lucky. So the reason I didn't go with this is I don't care about really visiting Freeman spaces too much anymore. It does go to Bene Gesserit, which is good. But the reveal on it requires Freeman Bond. Now I do have Liaison, so, you know, I could trigger it reasonably frequently, I suppose, but I felt like the Bene Gesserit Sister plus Liaison was a better kind of reliable choice. And it ended up being 2 Bene Gesserit Sisters, which, you know, it worked out, I think, pretty well. Looking at this conflict now, Leto and Beast neck and neck for a victory point and a water. Speaking of victory points, pretty even really right now. Taravangian on Helena, a little behind at the moment, but, you know, it's still early. Everyone now has the Swordmaster. High Council seats still to be picked up for Helena and Leto. We'll see if they decide to do that. Neither one of them has any Solari. Helena had been sitting on a lot of spice for a long time. Not sure why. I think she managed to pick some up in the early conflicts. Also picked up 4 spice in 1 move off of Haga Basin. Maybe she's saving it now for, you know, round 7. Hayliner play. Okay, there's the Lady Jessica finally. So I can combo these 2 now, which is going to be pretty fun. All right. All right. This is going to be a good turn here. This is going to be a good turn. You know what? I think this turn, I feel like I want sunglasses here. I feel like this is going to be a good one. All right. We're going to do a selective breeding. And we're going to draw a whole bunch of cards. That's number 1. Now, I don't have a discard pile, so I'm just going to lose this dagger. All right. Thank you for those 2 cards, and thank you for those 2 cards. All right. These glasses make it a little hard to see the screen, so I'll put them on when needed. Yo, Sylvain, are you around? I think this is going to be a good round for us. I think this is going to be a good turn. Are you there? Are you there? Oui, je suis là. That's it? You're just saying I'm here? I'm telling you I've got a cool round coming up. You're not that excited? All right. We'll see if he has more to say later. We'll see if he's got more to say for himself later. Does Sylv have sunglasses too? That's a good question. I don't know if these will fit him. You want to try these on, Sylvain? It's sort of like a mini pops kind of situation, which is an old reference, but like big sunglasses on a kid. That was like a big fashion thing in the 80s, I feel like. Okay, what am I doing now? What am I doing now? Do I want to use this now, or do I want to save it to surprise people right at the end? Okay. Hold on a second. Let me try to focus a little bit here. Power play. Well, power play gets me an alliance, so let's just do that. The issue is, I might not have a place to send the Reverend Mother. But I'm doing it anyway. I'm going to hope I can... Wait a minute. I forgot what color I was. I forgot what... Well, okay, I've got that alliance locked up. Oh, no. Oh, no. I thought I was blue. Okay, speaking of blue... That's what I just did. I just blew that because that would have been a perfect spot to send Reverend Mother. I can't undo it because I drew intrigue cards from passing the, from going to the space. Okay. Well, that happened. Okay, now I have to hope that I can send Reverend Mother up to, I guess, wealth, which is not super exciting, but... Okay, it happened. The good news is, I mean, I've got this kind of locked up now in case somebody else does a power play. It might not have been a bad thing, actually. Because I think there's still at least one power play kicking around somewhere. Dudar, where does the French influence come from? You know, I don't know. Sylvain I think Sylvain is French Canadian, to be honest. All right, well, let me do this while I still can. Let's make okay, hold on. I do need the sunglasses for this. All right, everybody. Please discard 2 cards. Hey, M0132, diplomacy on wealth for victory point and spice must flow. Yeah, I mean... I could have gotten a spice must flow that way. You're right. I did think about it, but I'm more excited to mess up everybody else by making them discard 2 cards. It's just too tasty. It may not be the right play, but it just feels good to make them feel bad. So That was my reasoning there. And the good news is I can still draw a card to get enough for Spice Must Flow anyway. I can use the Poison Snooper to draw another Bene Gesserit. Actually, here's the thing. This preview is tricky. I already have enough influence. Yeah, thank you, Antlion Maxi. I already have enough influence if I use the Bene Gesserit sister. I still think they really need to add something here. Okay, wait. If I mouse over it, it shows me that there's a +2 in brackets, but I think it should show it right there because this thing really trains you to just rely on it. And you stop kind of manually looking at your cards and counting them up. So with that in mind, I'm not going to use the Poison Snooper. I'll save that for another time. Lido really went hard on this fight, which is fair enough. If you can, if you can win a combat, get a victory point, also get control of Arrakeen, which might matter later. That's all right. So let's reveal. We'll take our Persuasion here, and we'll take Spice Must Flow, and we go to 7 points, which feels pretty good. I'm not going to take the Sardaukar Infantry this game. Is the chat showing up on the stream? I feel like I'm not seeing it there. All right. Well, Lido gets the victory point. The Beast takes 4 Solari. It is? Okay, good. Okay, good. I see it there now. All right, it's Battle for Carthag time. And it's 2 victory points. Nobody has the spice to hit Hayliner, but there's a lot of spice waiting there. And the nice thing about the Twitch stream is that the emotes actually do show up in the stream chat box. Like if we do one of these for Battle for Carthag, that's actually going to show, which is pretty cool. For some reason, the YouTube, it doesn't work with YouTube. It'll show like in the actual chat, YouTube chat, but it won't show on like the little stream overlay thing. Anyway, that's a little in the weeds. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Beast is looking pretty primed to win this. 3 troops in already, 4 troops still in the garrison. I really have no way of getting involved. I mean, I do have private army, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The good news is Beast is only at 3 victory points right now. Probably what I should be doing is trying to get myself a Spice Must Flow or trying to pick up any influence. Now, unfortunately, I don't really need any more Bene Gesserit influence, really. So I might just need that for the Persuasion. Reconnaissance is the one and only card on top of my deck. Do I want to trash that with the Poison Snooper? Maybe. It's going to be hard for me to get this guild influence because all I have to help me with that is a diplomacy. That's it. I've got no other way to get there, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm considering trashing this reconnaissance and then Maybe going to Arakeen. Drawing a couple of cards. All right, I'm just going to do it. I don't know how great this move is, but I'm just going to do it. And let's draw a couple of cards. Okay, so theoretically I could still make everybody discard cards, which is kind of fun. Do I throw in any troops here? That I feel like is a no. I feel like it's a no. Okay, so theoretically, if I play Bene Gesserit's sister, then play Reverend Mother, I can make everybody discard 2 cards and still get a Spice Must Flow. Which is fun. It's fun to make people... I love making people discard cards. I have to tell you, I used to play Magic back in the day, and I'm not ashamed to say this, but my favorite Magic strategies were land destruction, discard, counter spells. I just loved ruining everyone else's game, I have to say. Legally and politely. Not ruining it by being, you know, mean or anything. Oh, Larilm, you're making a commander deck. What do you got? What do you got cooking over there? Voja? Okay, I'm not up to date with Magic at all, but I'd be curious if you want to tell me basically what that's about. Elf? Ball? Okay, I know elf. What's the ball? Discard a card. Oh, I see. You're going to make me discard a card, are you? Well, 2 can play that game. Actually, this is kind of hilarious because with the combo, we might empty out a couple of hands here. Leto might end up with 0 cards in hand when it comes time to reveal. Trash is a convincing argument. Okay, interesting. I mean, sometimes that is the call. I tend not to want to do it, but occasionally it's the right thing to do. No Spice Must Flow with that plan. Well, now that I've lost the... I had to discard a card. It does mess that up. You're right. I kind of think I still have to do it just because it's too funny. Well, hold on. If I send the Bene Gesserit sister to Hall of Oratory, I can still do it. Or Mentat for that matter. But no, Mentat kind of, well, I don't think it's the right time for Mentat. I don't really have anything worthwhile to do with an extra agent this round. So let's just do this. Okay, let's see how this goes. And now this whole plan relies on no one going to secrets, right? Because that's the only place I can send her. Pretty good hand for next round. Probably will be able to get a Spice Must Flow next round as well. Um, I sort of regret. Well, I was going to say I regret not putting in a troop, but now I don't. Leto, do you know that you have to go to secrets right now? Oh, he did an early reveal. He tricked me. He tricked me. Well, that's okay. The good news is I can still go to secrets. That's all I really cared about. So let's do that. Leto's going to be happy about his early reveal now. Okay, let's see. What else we got here?
Everything is going according to plan. Our opponents are discarding their cards.
Excellent. Rapid mobilization. That's interesting. Depending on what these reveals look like, but for Helena and Leto, well, Leto's already done. I don't think it's worth it. I'm considering, you know, I could do it to steal second place from Helena potentially. Basically, it would get me some spice and it would kind of just trade that in for a different intrigue card. So I could do it. I mean, it relies on her not having an intrigue card to counter it. But that's a pretty powerful card to kind of just burn on that. On the other hand, it's going to make it maybe possible for me to hit Spice Must Flow at some point, which could kind of end the game for me. I have no daggers. It's a risk that I'm willing to take. Rapid mobilization for 2 troops. Now, Spice. That Spice must flow. Let's see how this goes. Does Helena have any combat intrigue card? Well, I guess not any, since technically I like when you win the conflict cards. No, it worked. Actually, no. Oh, it's genius.
Actually, sir, by my calculations, you've actually bumped Helena and Leto completely out of the running for conflict rewards. Since they are tied for combat strength, they will both tie for 4th place, meaning they will get nothing.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that. That was what I was doing, man. That's what I was trying to do the whole time. Oh, whoops, sorry. Apologies, everyone. Okay, that was hilarious. I didn't even know how sweet of a play that was until I did it. That is just too funny. Knock them both right out of there. No spice for you. Now, it's a battle for Imperial Basin. Okay, so the question is, Leto has 6 spice. But does he have Hayliner access? Because if he doesn't, Helena now has 6 spice. Okay, one of them surely has Hayliner access. That's not great. I think maybe I need to abandon that idea. I was hoping I could go get 2 spice here, then go here. I mean, I could still... Yeah, there's the Hayliner right now. Okay, well, it saves me the trouble. Okay, so the points are going to start getting tight here because Leto now at 6, on track to get 2 more, which will put him up to 8, which means I think I've just got to get Spice Must Flow. Probably I need to go to Fold Space with my diplomacy right off the bat. And although, to be honest, am I ever going to get the other point? Because I need to reshuffle my deck to get my diplomacy again. This may be a lost cause. It's kind of interesting that no one's gotten the Emperor's Alliance yet. Okay. Maybe... Maybe if I do the diplomacy, I can redraw it next round and draw a whole bunch of cards. I'm just going to do it. I don't know. I'm going to see. Because, like, check this out. Let's say I send Lady Jessica to selective breeding. That draws me 4. Or, wait a minute. I could send Lady Jessica to research station, which no one thinks I'm capable of, but I'm capable of it. And then I could draw 5 cards. Although the problem is diplomacy hasn't been put into my discard pile yet. So I actually... I'm never going to see that diplomacy again. Antline Maxi Fold Space also gets you there. Where does it... Oh, yeah, you're right. The Fold Space into the discard pile. You're right. The thing is, I don't want to draw the Fold Space now. I want it next round. So maybe I don't want to draw too many cards here. Okay, so given that, I mean, I do want to... It's a Spice Must Flow on top of there. I do want to buy another Spice Must Flow, that's for sure. I want to have the spice available for me to go to... I think I might have to get in on this conflict to get some spice. My last card is a Spice Must Flow. Leto, he's rocking up the points here. Can I fight him here? No, I can't. I really can't. So I have to hope Leto can't buy Spice Must Flow this round, because if he can, it's game. The good news is he does not have a High Council seat. Yeah, I think I've got to go in on this. I mean, I can only put in 1 troop, but I do have intrigue cards I could potentially use. Now, the problem is, that is 3 influence that I'm losing if I play here. I'm sitting at 10. Take the lab from him. You know what? That is a smart idea because, yeah, he's probably ready to try that. All right. I think I actually don't use the Jessica to do it, though. I don't want to draw too many cards. And there's the fold space sitting on top. The problem is, oh no, this Bene Gesserit sister gives me heart attacks, man. Oh, I didn't throw in, I don't have any troops to throw in. So that's the issue right now. I need to, now I can't get a troop in. Ugh. Hayliner next turn is great, but the issue is I need 2 spice. Because otherwise, if I can't do it immediately, Helena does it. Oh, I've got 2 spice must flows in my hand to give me the spice. Oh, right. Of course. What was I thinking? The spice must flow. It must flow. Yeah. I sometimes forget about those things. That is one of the things that, you know, I've definitely seen some people kind of making the suggestion that they would prefer to have the whole card visible, like the bottoms being cut off. I understand why, kind of, like, you know, space on the screen is limited, but you know, there is space to be had here. And I think it would be better either to have the option or just do it. Just make it so that you can see the whole card. I think it would help everybody out. Okay, now. I can still do something, right? I could still get like 1 spice out of here with a Dune the Desert Planet. So I might as well do that. There's no way for me to get a troop into this conflict, unfortunately. Well, let's see what Leto has. He also has 3 intrigue cards. So there's a chance. There's a chance he can still get Spice Must Flow, but you know, I think blocking the research station was a good idea. Antlion Max, yeah, that test of humanity would have really messed me up big. Well, I guess not. I could have discarded a Spice Must Flow and still been okay. All right, so we reveal. We take the Persuasion. We take Spice Must Flow. We're in really good shape for next round here. Would have loved to have found a way to get a troop in there for that spice, but whatever. You just can't do it all. You just can't. All right, I feel this is going to be a big turn here. We're going to get a big round, I should say. Now, the thing is, yes, I can Hayliner, but the Beast has 6 troops garrisoned, so just because I can hit Hayliner doesn't mean I'm guaranteed to win, and it's not a 2-point conflict. It's a grand vision. What does that mean? 2 influence. I guess maybe I end up with a guild alliance that way. Maybe. Someone could just go to fold space, though, and mess me up. Yeah, if Helena goes to fold space, she gets that alliance, and then that doesn't do it. This is a little awkward now. This is pretty awkward now. I'm not even sure it's worth doing the Hayliner for that. Now, if I don't, does someone else taking it mess me up somehow? If somebody else wins that, what happens? So the question I have to ask myself here is, am I better off trying to win this and maybe get that alliance, but also quite likely not, because either Helena or Leto going to fold space gets the alliance. So maybe I need the spice for a potential tiebreaker with Leto rather than a Hayliner. On the other hand, Hayliner does get me water, which would let me go to research station. Yeah, I think fold space to fold space honestly might be just better. Now I can put, do I have an option of messing people up and still getting spice must flow? Probably not. I'm probably going to need that persuasion. Although Signet Ring gets me a liaison. Ooh, Water of Life. Okay. Helena hits the Hayliner. Okay. Yeah, so she gets the alliance. She was going to get that one way or the other. What can she do with 2 influence? Not much. So that's okay for me. I could consider Bene Gesserit's sister to Mentat. Draw 2 cards. Then play a Reverend Mother. Maybe make everybody discard. Can I get away with that? I kind of feel like maybe I can. Maybe I just start with Signet Ring, though. Leave the Mentat there. Probably no one else is going to take it. So I'm going to try to make everybody discard. I'm pretty sure. Because if I use this, okay, I go down to 8 persuasion, but Signet Ring to Hall of Oratory, or even potentially Arakeen, or potentially just anywhere. I mean, I could, anywhere is not the best, because I could draw a fold space or something that could mess it up. Now, does Leto have any potential for intrigue card victory points? Okay, here's a test of humanity. I don't love it. I don't love it. That messes up my math a little bit. I have to discard a Dune the Desert Planet. Now I'm not so sure about that plan. I think I do the Signet Ring first. And then see where we're at. I'm not even sure making people discard cards is such a great thing at this point anyway, but it's fun. Maybe it stops somebody from getting a Spice Must Flow. That's a little disturbing. Okay, so I am going to make Leto discard cards because I can't afford for him to have like a bunch of swords to reveal. I can't have him... Well, wait a minute. This is not a... I keep thinking this is a 2-point conflict. It's not. If Leto wins this, what happens? Nothing here. He could get an alliance here. That's it. It's worth 1 point for him potentially. It's not the end of the world. But if I don't get a Spice Must Flow, that could be bad. So I think I have to do the Signet Ring first. And then take it from there. See if I have a chance to use the Reverend Mother. Do I draw cards or do I just go for the Hall of Oratory? I guess it's just the Hall of Oratory to make sure. That's the only way to be absolutely sure this still works. So I did say I was going to make him discard cards, but I decided that that wasn't the priority. All right, so I can afford to do this now because I have the Bene Gesserit sisters, so I'll be at 9 persuasion after doing this. If I do it, like I'm not even necessarily sure it's worth it. We'll see what Leto reveals with here. I mean, I think I'm gonna do it. Randoms1, sorry for not replying sooner. The Rise of X expansion is supposed to be coming this summer on digital. That's what they have said. They said that in their sort of roadmap post, which they put up a couple months ago, maybe. They said summer, but, you know, we'll see. It's too funny not to, I think, is right. I think that's right. Amerchin 1, if I'm saying that right. Yeah, it's too funny not to. So we will do it. We'll make them discard cards. I mean, Helena has 9 cards in hand. That's just not reasonable. It's not reasonable. It's too many. Let's be reasonable, okay? Let's just be reasonable. I'm kind of surprised that Beast never picked up this point, but he may have been struggling for faction access. There's a couple of points he didn't pick up. He didn't get the guild one, he didn't get the Emperor one. All right. Three swords for the beast. I think that should do it. Kwisatz Haderach right at the end to say hello. Ooh, a reinforcements from Helena. Is she going to take the victory here somehow? That's not quite going to do it. These combat intrigues of mine never came into the picture. Thank you. All right, well, we'll see. We'll see if it ends up being enough here. It's looking good, but you never really know. Okay, so if Leto can pull this off, he can take this alliance. That puts him to 10. Okay, I mean, he still has another chance to play this last one. If he wants. Looks like he disconnected. Okay, so I don't know what this little red thing means versus just there's like a black circle, which means you're, I guess the black circle means you have already been replaced by the AI, and red means you've disconnected but haven't been replaced yet. So this is pretty bad etiquette here. He realized he's going to lose the game and he just quits and forces us to sit around and for minutes at a time. Pretty weak. Now, I don't know for sure that's what's happened, but it sure looks like that's what's happened. Also, to be fair, there are some bugs in the game that has happened to me, where the game, sometimes if your turn runs out, I don't know exactly what triggers it, but it's happened to me a couple times where my turn was like running right out to the end, and just as I was trying to do something, the AI like took over maybe for the rest of my turn, and it just like, the game got stuck and it never went to somebody else. Now that didn't happen here, so I guess that's not what happened. I guess he just quit. So Sir Wap. I'll try to remember that one. Okay. Well, it looks like that's going to be the game. Okay, plans within plans for Beast, but I don't think that's even going to trigger. All right. Paul Atreides. Paul Atreides achieves victory. So that was kind of an interesting game there. It was a rare game where I picked up the High Council seat before getting the Swordmaster. It just seemed to make sense. I did end up getting the Swordmaster, but getting the High Council, I think, did delay me maybe by a couple of rounds in terms of getting the Swordmaster, but it did allow me to pick up Jessica, which was a huge part of what allowed me to win that game, as well as, a few other nice cards. So not to mention the Reverend Mother Gaius Helen Mohayim, which funded me a bunch of spice and persuasion, as well as ended up making people discard a lot of cards over the course of the game, which was fun as well as, I think effective. So that was good. It was a good game. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on anything coming out on the channel. You can also follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/bludgeon, and you can watch me play live and comment while it's happening. But if you're watching after the fact, make sure to let me know in the comments down below what you thought. I always appreciate reading your thoughts. Also, if you just can't get enough, you can consider becoming a member of the channel, which is going to give you access to an extra bonus game every month, as well as access to all of the past bonus games, as well as full streams of the VODs, which you're going to get those earlier, but also you're going to get a few extra games that way as well, since not all of those games go up on the channel. All right, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.